Good morning, children. Let us start the second chapter of geography today. Land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife resources. There is a small story given in this chapter. Let us read it and listen. In a small village in Tanzania, Africa, Mamba, the child, gets up very early in the morning to fetch water. She has to walk a long way and returns after a few hours. She then helps her mother in the house and joins her brothers in taking care of their gods. All her family owns is a piece of rocky land around their small hut. Mamba's father can barely grow some maize and beans on it after toiling hard. This is not enough to feed their family for the whole year. Peter, another person, okay. Peter lives in the heart of the sheep rearing region of New Zealand, where his family runs a wool processing factory. Now, this one story is about Mamba, who is in Africa, and another one, Peter, lives in New Zealand. Every day when he returns from school, Peter watches his uncle taking care of their sheep. Their sheep yard is situated on a wide grassy plain with hills in the far distance. It is managed in a scientific way using the latest technology. Peter's family also grows vegetables through organic farming. You can see Peter and Mamba, two different children. Both are children, but both are one is rich, one is very poor. One goes to school, one doesn't go to school also. Mamba and Peter stay in two different parts of the world and lead a very different lives. This difference is because of the difference in the quality of land, soil, water, natural vegetation, animals, and usage of technology. We know that two children are living differently. Both are children but living differently, different lifestyles because of the different regions. And what are the climatic conditions in different regions, what are the facilities available, what are the resources available there, and also the quality of land, soil, water facilities, natural vegetation, etc. Due to these reasons, differences in these reasons, the different lifestyles of these people occur. Availability of such resources is the main reason places differ from each other. Different part of the world is completely different because of the availability of these different resources. Now, 90% of the world population occupies only 30% of the land area. 90% of the population takes or occupies only 30% of the land area. The remaining 70% of the land is either sparsely populated or uninhabited. It is unfit for the population to live here, people to live here. Land is among the most important natural resources. There are many natural resources we have studied: water, the land, the soil, etc. Minerals are all available in the nature. Land is very important. It covers only about 30% of the total area of the earth's surface. We studied that 70% is water and 30% only is land. And all parts of the earth's surface, we know that all parts of this small percentage are not habitable. Some of only the only few areas also not possible for the not habitable also. The uneven distribution of population in different parts of the world is mainly due to the varied characteristics of land and climate. We know people live in different parts of the world but not concentrated everywhere. Some people are living in the desert and Arctic regions also, but sparse population. So the rugged topography or uneven or rough topography, steep slopes of the mountains, low-lying areas, these areas are also not much populated. Okay, we know that the availability of water or some regions water logging or flooding occur. Desert regions and thick forests and forested areas, these are normally sparsely populated areas. Very less population is found in these regions and mostly uninhabited. But where the people are largely concentrating, we can say that plains or the flat surface and the river valleys, plains and river valleys, these are often suitable for land for agriculture. Agriculture is possible on the river valleys and plain lands, so that a large population is concentrated in these localities. How people are using land also. Land is used in different purposes. We already studied about agriculture, and most importantly we use land for agriculture purpose. Also forestries are there, mining purposes, or building houses and settlements, etc., building roads and setting up of industries also. These are all different purpose. Mostly we often say land use. So land is used for many purposes. The use of land is determined by the physical factors, how the land is selected by the people. We are also living mostly in the plain regions. Depending upon the physical factors, whether it's the mountain regions, plains or plateaus or desert regions, due to the physical factors such as the soil, climate, minerals, availability of water, depending upon all these factors, people select the land for living. Human factors such as population and technology are also very important determinants of land use factor. Now the technology is also very important factor, how people are selecting the areas for living. Land can also be classified on the basis of ownership as private land and community land also. Private land is owned by the individuals. We know that when we are buying the land, we have constructed our house and buildings, etc., and we purchased some land for agriculture. We have 5 acres or 10 acres of agricultural land, and these are all private land because we have the documents and we have purchased it. But community owned lands also is available for the common use of the all people, all community. We can say that some of the regions for people are taking their animals for grazing, and these are grazing grounds or the animal grazing grounds or pasture lands, or people also cut the fodder for the animals or collect fodder for the animals also from those regions. Fruits and nuts or medicinal herbs are available in the forest regions or some of the open grounds. People collect these. So these community lands are also called common property resources, so that everybody can use them. All people can use these community land. People and their demands are now ever growing, and their demands are not ending, so that the availability of land is limited. When population is increasing, we are spreading to the forested regions also. We are cutting the forest and entering those regions also for settlements. Even agricultural lands also is shrinking nowadays because we are extending our settlements to the agricultural regions also. So people also, depending upon the quality of the land, people also move from place to place. People started encroaching the common lands to build up commercial areas, housing complexes in the urban areas, and to expand the agricultural land in the rural areas. People also encroaching illegally, occupying the common land also for constructing their houses and buildings, etc. So that people can today the vast changes of in the land use pattern also reflect the cultural changes of the society. We can find land degradation occurring nowadays, landslides falling off the land from mountainous regions, soil erosion, desertification. Large areas are becoming deserts also, no water available, and also become unfit for cultivation. So these are the major threats to the environment because we are destroying it. When we are occupying or encroaching the common lands and forests also, we are destroying our nature. So for the purpose of expansion of agriculture and construction activities are also, we are destroying our nature. So this all we have to take care, otherwise what happens in the future, different purposes when we are using the land, if not in a sustainable manner, it cannot be possible for the future generation or the next generation to survive on the earth. So that we need to conserve the land resources or land, and we have to protect or preserve our land. So that we will study tomorrow about the conservation of land resources. That's all for today. Thank you.